Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Bossed Up Academy, where we discuss all of your stimulus updates as well as all things real estate investing as well as business. We're here. We offer one-on-one business coaching. We offer small group coaching, as well as stimulus coaching. If you need help with some of the stimulus things that will help your business survive the pandemic. So we're here for your business and real estate investing needs. Also, I would like to, we're going to talk about PPP. I know everyone's tired of me talking about PPP, but I'm going to be talking about PPP until the end of the month. And in the interim, I'm going to be putting in different things that will help you. So tune in for all your stimulus updates right here at Bossed Up Academy. So while people are logging on, because everybody wants to know how to get their loan forgiven. But before we do that, we have some pressing information that we would like to share with you. The SBA is sending out emails of reference to your grant money. And that was when you applied directly through the SBA website. And some people got only $1,000. It depends on how many employees you had. So with that being said, if you had one employee, you got $1,000. If you had 10 employees, you got the max of $10,000. Well, a lot of people were not able to get that because they are a sole proprietor or a single person organization. And so now the government is coming back in and saying that, hey, we're going to give you the rest of the money. But there is an application and there is a deadline to get that application back to them. They will be reaching out to you. And initially at the beginning of the year, they were saying that you had to be in a low economic area and community, and that would be the way that you could get the additional money, the difference between what you originally got and the rest that would make the rest of the 10,000. Well, now they are opening it up to more and more areas. So look for that email. You need to be checking your junk as well as your regular inbox. The email is going to come from sba.gov. That handle on the end of the email is going to say sba.gov. And it's time sensitive, so I would not delay. And it's also tied in with money, so I would not delay there either. Whenever the SBA or a lender is contacting you about these funds and they are requesting things from you, you need to jump on it as if the building was on fire. You need to jump on it. You need to make it a priority. I would get it back to them the same day if possible. I would not go to bed that night without getting them the information that they have requested, because there are so many people in the queue and you don't want to lose your spot within the queue. So make sure you're looking for that email to get the rest of your grant money, and understand that it is time sensitive, because if they don't hear back from you within a reasonable amount of time, then they can put in the system that, you're not interested anymore and you miss out. And remember that a grant is free money. And since this leads us into now our other free money, PPP is a loan, but it is a forgivable loan. So therefore, if you do the forgiveness piece, it equals free money, just like a grant. But a lot of people are cashing in because on their PPP right now because of the change formula with PPP. But now that you got your PPP funds, we're just going to assume that everybody has their PPP funds. So now that you have your PPP funds, then now you got to make sure that they're spent correctly over the next 24 weeks. And when you make sure that they are spent correctly over the next 24 weeks, so that you can do the forgiveness part. You cannot apply for your forgiveness until you have exhausted all funds, and you've got 24 weeks, which is equal to 6 months, to exhaust those funds. But now, do not request your forgiveness until you have exhausted those funds. There are 3 loan types of forgiveness depending on how much funds you got and what kind of business you are. And, if you got it off of a 941 with employees, or if you got it off of for yourself. What you want to do, because most people are sole proprietors, or they are gig workers or whatever, the majority of my audience. So that's why I'm going to talk to that group tonight. And what you want is 60% towards wages. And that means your payroll. That means paying yourself. That's what you're going to get out of the money, because the government is either, depending on your industry, replacing 2.5 or 3.5 months of income. So therefore, you want to make sure that you get that amount, the 60%. So I'm just going to use a round number like $10,000. So $6,000 can go to you personally as your payroll. The other $4,000 should be reinvested, not invested, but to pay for overhead expenses within the business. And most people, if you're running a business, those are the things that you're deducting off of your taxes. Right now, they're saying that they want you to have paid rent, different things, utilities. Well, some people don't have those things if they are a gig worker. So I'm suspecting that the government will go in and expand that some more. Now, you are not supposed to use PPP for expansion. That means that you're not supposed to go build on your building and say, okay, I'm using my 40% to build on my building. You cannot say, well, I'm going to pay my rent up for 6 months ahead. You must use it for bills that are due now. You can't pay ahead because they're just trying to help you get over the hump. Now, your 60% that you pay to yourself, which can also include your health insurance payments, your life insurance payments. And I'm pretty sure people don't have a problem with paying themselves 60% of the funds that they get. Once you pay yourself, and most people, you should have a business account. If you're doing business, you should have it separate from your personal funds, but that's not the case for most people. So you need to have some kind of tracking system, so that way you can track that you paid yourself the 60%. Now, if you want to go out and buy a new TV with your 60%, make sure that you got a trail that leads from payroll to you, and then you go do what you want to do with your payroll, because it'll be just like if you were working a W-2 job. Once they give you a paycheck, you can go and do what you want to do with your paycheck. But you want to make sure that you've got a paper trail for what those funds were used for, and then allocate them to yourself, and then go out and spend it. So I hope that's clear to you to do that. You have 24 weeks and you must exhaust the funds before. Now, most people, if you're sole proprietor and you're not doing 941s, the likelihood of you getting more than $150,000 through PPP, because it caps at $100,000 in income, most people are going to be in that $41,000 range between their first and their second draw. So with that being said, each draw, that's when you're going to do your certification. You're going to go back to the lender, the person who gave you the funds, and ask them what their procedure is, because some of them do have a paper form, which is on the SBA website, but a lot of the lenders are merging it into their software. So therefore, you can just sign it electronically, get it done. It's a one-page certification. Now, are they going to ask you for documentation? No. But if you get audited, will you have to show documentation? If you get audited, yes, you will have to show documentation. But in order to get the forgiveness, you're going to sign the one-page certification. May it be electronically or paper, but make sure that you get it to the lender who gave you the PPP. Do not try to go and submit it to SBA or do something else. Always go back to your lender. Even though SBA is backing the funds, your point of contact is your lender. So you always want to go back to the lender. Now, if you have applied for first and second round right together or right after, you don't have to have spent the first round of money before you can get the second. So don't get that confused. You can apply for both. Some places are allowing you to do it at the same time, and some people are allowing you to do it consecutively. But you do not have to use those funds up. The forgiveness part requires you to use the funds when you do the forgiveness. Now, say you forget to do the forgiveness part. And most of your banks and stuff, they're going to shoot you emails. They're going to, alert you to make sure that you staying on track with this. So just say, for instance, you do not do your forgiveness. Well, you're not going to have a payment for 10 months because your payments are deferred. Well, when they tell you to start making that first payment, if you still have not done your forgiveness, then that should prompt you to request your forgiveness when they put you on alert that you need to pay your first payment. Say you're a procrastinator, you're a slacker, you just run around trying to do your business, and you still do not do your forgiveness, and your first payment is due. And you make that payment because you do not want to default with the government. So you make that payment. And is it too late? No. You can apply for forgiveness at any time once the money has been exhausted. So even if you wait your 10 months, make 2 or 3 payments, and still say, now I got to get my stuff together and get my forgiveness done, you can still do it even if you started making payments. Remember, though, you got a 10-month window of time before your first payment is due, but you've got 24 weeks to spend the money. Now, you should not be spending them saying that that's covering your payroll at the same time and trying to get unemployment. Do not double dip, because you can't get PPP. You can't say your PPP served as your payroll if you were getting unemployment during that same period. Now, unemployment has been extended until September. So during those times that you claim for your PPP, you should not be claiming unemployment at the same time. You don't want it to overlap, because if you get caught, you could, potentially be in some fraud. Also, you could potentially have to pay a lot of money back. So you don't want to get caught up in that. So you can't use your PPP money at the same time as your unemployment money. So make sure that you're keeping good records just in case you get audited. But for the purpose of forgiveness, they are just making you sign a one-pager certification saying that you gave 60% of payroll, which is money to yourself, and life and health insurance. And it could include that, whatever benefits that your business provides to you, and then your other 40% for the other. So don't get it confused. And remember, yesterday, March the 9th, ended the priority period, but it does not mean that you can't continue to apply for PPP until March 31st or when the money runs out. But remember, now today was the first day that it's back open to companies that have 300 or less employees. Remember, during the priority period, it was for 20 employees or less. So the only difference between yesterday and today is the priority period. But you can continue to apply for your PPP. If you don't know where to go to get your PPP, you can go to Bossed Up Academy Stimulus.com, and it's on the bottom of my screen. It's Bossed Up Academy Stimulus.com, and we have a lender there that will put you in their portal. It doesn't cost you anything, and they will match you with a lender that can get you approved. If you need some assistance or you quite don't understand something, please do feel free to DM me, reach out to me or my office, and we will be glad to answer your questions. Now, remember, you can pay yourself 60% to yourself, which is your payroll. Well, I think that once you pay yourself and you get your 60% paycheck to yourself, you need to invest in yourself. I mean, if this is just a rich dad, poor dad, TED Talk moment for you, I would not go out and just pay off all my bills and then I'm back dead broke. Once you pay yourself the 60%, I would look at avenues for it to leverage you in life. And I will, I just don't believe in paying off all your bills and going broke and then something happens and you're still in another situation. And we don't know how long this pandemic is going to last. We don't know if this new strain is going to shut everybody down, close us down. So I would suggest that you highly look into some investments and look into some things that's going to grow that money. And remember, in difficulty lies opportunity. Remember, in difficulty lies opportunity. Thank you, Tanya. Yes, invest in your business to make more money, because that $300 car payment that you're struggling with, if you get $10,000 from the government and you pay yourself $6,000, go buy you a food truck or something. Once that payroll hits you, it's your money to do what you want to do. So once you pay yourself, then your paycheck can be used to do what you need to do. Because guess what? If you go buy that food truck and that food truck making you $1,000 a week, now you got enough money to pay that car payment and have money left over. You got to kind of start changing your mentality in a different manner rather than just saying, I don't want to owe nobody. It just don't work like that. The bank owes you every day. They borrow your money every day to lend out to other people. So why shouldn't you do the same? Also, yeah, that's right, Tanya. Heck yeah. Thank you for sharing this video. Remember to share and like this video. Thank you, Clarence, for chiming in. And if you feel like these videos have been helping you get through the pandemic, please do drop a thumbs up. Drop an emoji. Please share this video with somebody that you know that might be driving for Uber, Instacart, that might be selling insurance. It's just doing hair. It doesn't matter. You need to share because you don't know who is going to be a blessing and who you're going to bless. I see Kendrick here. I got an email there. I definitely need your help. Sure, share, send me a screenshot of the email to my DM and I'll check it out for you. And remember, I said this once, I said it again. I do a lot of research every day on stimulus stuff, but I am not God and I can only tell you what I learned, what I know, and I try to be as informative and to share the information with you, whether you contact me or not. I want to be a blessing to somebody else. And remember that service is the rent that we pay on earth. And if you can help somebody, you don't know, they may never be able to repay you, but that other side, there's another blessing for you. So you reap what you sow, and make sure that you're sowing great things. Thank you, Yonda, for the thumbs up. And yes, Davita, thank you. Yes, people need to change their mentality of the way they think about debt. Now, once PPP is over with, I'm going to have a big thing the first week of April to let you all know that these taxes, y'all got to learn to read these taxes. Once we get through PPP, I'm seeing a lot of stuff from a lot of people, and a lot of people are hurting. And it's not just because of the way they were managing their business, but the people that they are entrusting to do their taxes. I cannot stress this enough to you. Read your taxes. If you can't read them, have the person that's doing your taxes read them to you. Do not just let these people do your taxes. You need to be interviewing these people that are doing your taxes. What is their experience? What knowledge have they gained? Because some people they've got a legitimate business and they did not read their taxes, and the PPP is just not helping them. And even though they changed to line 7 on the new formula, guess what? It's still not helping them because their taxes were done incorrectly. So when you're dealing with business taxes, that's in a whole nother realm than W-2 employees. It's not a matter of just punching in numbers and guessing where they should go. If you got to get out of business and get into business, and you got to seek people with the knowledge that can help you. But again, I'll tell you that go to bossedupacademystimulus.com if you're looking for a PPP lender and you want to do your PPP yourself. This is a great place because a lot of people are still having a lot of trouble with their banks. And some banks, even though the requirement is not a credit check, people are still having issues that have credit challenges. So I would encourage you to go to bossedupacademystimulus.com, and there you can get paired up with various lenders who can pick up your PPP for you. And if you have any questions or need assistance, please do message me. I don't mind at all. And I'm here to help as much as I can and share the information that you hear from me with somebody else, because you just never know. People seem like they're good. They put on a smile, but they're really not good. And you don't know who you can be a blessing to and who can be a blessing to you. So talk to people, network with people, get them going, help as much as you can, where you can. And if you don't know, go out and seek some more help. Knowledge is key. You got to be a sponge for information. I go to meetings every week that this SBA hosts that they have, and that's where I gain my knowledge. And I'm gaining my knowledge not only to just get on Facebook to share with people, but for my own businesses and to make sure that I keep the people that depend on me, not only just my family depend on me to help, but the people that work in my office, they depended on me to make sure they can feed their families and for me to be able to continue to pay them. So it's no man is an island, and we got to get out of business into business. We got to get into understanding debt and leverage and knowing the difference. Debt is the struggle. Leverage is putting me to another level. Making sure you expand your knowledge, know who you are, what you're doing, and most of all, I cannot stress to you, ask these people that's doing your taxes what their credentials are, when have they been to a tax class, and how many tax classes have they done on business. There are a lot of new tax credits out that will give you, if you got a payroll, you got the employee retention tax credit. You need somebody that's going to tell you about that. Tax code 179 that tells you can go out and buy a 6,000 pound vehicle and write it off. You need people in your corner that are going to tell you what you need to know for these taxes. And then that way, if a pandemic hit or there is something such as PPP arrives on the scene, guess what? You can get your coins. You can get what's entitled to you, what's due to you. Also, we're going to talk about a 7A express loan once we get through this whole PPP thing, just because I'm pushing PPP as hard as I can because it's free money. And then we'll go into 7A Express and some other loans that are out here to help you leverage yourself as well as just making it through the pandemic. Again, get people to like and follow us. And we are here for all your stimulus, real estate investing, as well as business needs.